This week on Full Circle Florida, living in America, Trump's immigration crackdown. Will legal immigrants be caught in the crossfire? Farmers fear deportations. We speak to an immigration attorney, her prediction on the impact of Trump's policies and why she says it's not all bad news. And Tallahassee reporter Forrest Saunders with why state leaders say mass deportations is not their problem. Trump versus DeSantis. Who wields more power in Florida? Trump raiding Florida's political ranks for his cabinet and endorsing the replacements. Where does that leave the governor? Dr. Susan McManus on the power play between Tallahassee and Mar-a-Lago. And the Washington report, the cabinet and the confirmation. Which of Trump's picks face the toughest road ahead? Our Washington correspondent with new insights. Welcome in, everyone, here to Full Circle Florida. During this Thanksgiving week, as we all gathered with friends and families to express gratitude for the good things in life and the hope for our country, there's also an undercurrent of uncertainty as we transition from two very different leaders with two very contrasting approaches to America's future. Some of the biggest questions the second Trump presidency will bring center on how exactly the mass deportations of illegal immigrants will be carried out. Who exactly will be forced to leave? And will innocent people get swept up in what promises to be a massive undertaking? This week, I spoke with immigration attorney Emel Ersan about what's coming and who should be concerned.
On day one, I will launch the largest deportation program.
What are you expecting to see in 2025?
Trump's priorities go like this. Number one priority is people that pose a national security threat, spies and things like that. But the second priority is aggravated felons or even people with lesser crimes if they have multiple convictions. The third priority is people that have entered illegally or have overstayed their visas, so they don't have a status now. The fourth priority is people that have engaged in fraud or misrepresentation in their immigration matters rather. And the fifth priority is people with their deportation orders. So it kind of goes like, you know, the heavy criminals, the multiple convicted people, people that entered illegally, people that overstayed, people that are embroiled in some kind of fraud or misrepresentation with their filing, and then finally people with deportation orders.
I think there is a concern with the aggressiveness on how this is going to be executed. Could legal immigration be impacted by this, you know, the sweeping sort of policy? Are legal immigrants going to get swept up in this?
I really don't think that's going to happen at all, because basically what's happening is that Trump is trying to put things in place where he focuses on the illegal immigrants, focuses on people that have no status. You have to remember something. About 11 million people have crossed the border in the last 4 years. And what people don't know is that more than 50% of them have applied for asylum. When you apply for asylum, you're under a protected status where you cannot be deported until a deportation order is signed by a judge. Right now, the processing time for that is about 8 years. So anyone that has entered the country and tried to obtain a work authorization, which usually is through asylum, they are protected.
Does this put a crimp on legal migrants trying to go through the legal process of entering the United States? Will there be such a focus on deporting millions of people that people who are trying to actually enter the country legally, will that process be slower for them, or will it be interrupted, do you think?
Well, you know, that's a very good question, and that's something that I worry about as a practicing attorney. Where are the resources going to go to? And my biggest worry is that if Department of Homeland Security, it has three branches underneath it: ICE, which is the police of immigration, USCIS, which is the group that legalizes people, the processing, and the third is Border Patrol, CBP. So if all the resources are going to go to ICE and to close the border, I worry that USCIS may not have as many funds, because the processing times for people that are trying to be legal right now is outrageous. I actually have a client who is an American citizen who has stage 4 cancer. He has 6 months to live. And I'm trying to bring his wife, who's a Chinese national, and I'm trying to do some kind of a pardon. It's a 1.5 year processing time. I cannot have this family join for ultimately his last days of his life because USCIS is so overburdened with other things. So I do worry that people that are trying to be legal can have longer delays and the process times can be longer.
It's about to get a lot more complicated. Bottom line, what are you telling your clients and the families that come to see you for help right now?
If you have an aggravated felony or even multiple lesser charges, like DUIs and things of that sort, you have reason to worry. And the other takeaway is that he's actually creating some merit-based immigration, which is actually very encouraging. I'm talking about people that want to open up businesses, small businesses to create jobs for Americans. So he seems to want to open the doors for people that are highly talented, highly educated, and people that are just sort of talented in their fields. But he's going hard on people that have violated the laws.
Emel Ersan, thank you for your insight.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Next on Full Circle Florida, the cabinet and the confirmation. Which of Trump's picks face the toughest road ahead? Our Washington correspondent with new insight.